Hey, how you doing? It's Will here and my good old friend Rusty. And today we're going to I'm going to rant about Trump and Gaza. I mean, what on earth? If you're one of the random people out there that still think and believe that the Israeli propaganda that like it's just about Israel and like everyone in Palestine, like the Republican talking points, which is basically Israeli, political talking points or Netanyahu or far-right talking points, that, Hamas is all the Palestinians deserve to die. They deserve to get out of it. They're all evil. I mean, the atrocities that Israel has done is just amazing. And sure, we'll do the thing about October 7th was bad, and it was, but that does not justify the killing of 60,000 people, mostly women and children. I just don't understand why. Oh, but it's racism, right? Like, I keep forgetting that white people their lives are worth thousands of brown people. Like, that explains everything. Because no one seems to care. It's like no one cares that tens of thousands of Palestinian children and women and families have been killed. They just keep saying, well, yeah, but look at what Hamas did. So I don't want to get into that. That's a whole nother conversation. It took me a while to wake up and see through the Israeli propaganda to realize what's actually happening. And it's really, really, really evil and bad. So the thing is, but Trump up here, I mean, I knew this was the plot all along. I mean, people were saying it, and it was apparent that Netanyahu just wants all of it. He wants the West Bank. He wants Gaza. He wants the Palestinians out of there. It's ethnic cleansing, just like when we kicked the Indians out. And Trump loves McKinley, and he was all for that back in the day. Kick the Indians out, take that land, give it to white people, right? And that's what they want to do. It's like, and it's so, Trump's going to come up here and have a ceasefire that they wouldn't give to Netanyahu, wouldn't agree with Biden. But that's because Trump and Netanyahu made a backdoor deal, of course. Just like, see, the Republicans always cheat. Their whole thing is cheating, right? They never play by the rules. Just like when Reagan, Jimmy Carter couldn't get the hostages out of Iran. So Reagan goes behind the scenes and makes a deal with Iran to send missiles to the Contras in Nicaragua or whatever. And in exchange, so then when he gets elected, the next day they free the hostages and he looks like the hero. Well, Trump just pulled that playbook and did the exact same thing, so he made a deal with Netanyahu because Netanyahu was the one stopping the ceasefire from happening. And I'm sure Trump was like, don't do a ceasefire because I need it to happen when I get elected so I look good. Okay. What are you going to give me, Mr. Trump? I'll give you Gaza. How are you going to do that? Don't worry. After the ceasefire, I'm going to look really good. And then I'll let a little time pass. And then I'm just going to get up there and say that I'm taking Gaza. I mean, really, you're going to take it. But I'm going to say that I'm going to take it and that I'm going to own it. But really, I mean, as long as you can give my family some good real estate, you can pretty much have it. And then I'm going to see, it'll sound bad if you say it. If you say the Palestinians have to be kicked out and all the Arab countries are going to get mad at you. But if I say it, then it won't be as bad. And then, I'll say that the Palestinians have to go. I'll just say that it's rubble, even though you made the rubble with our weapons. We won't talk about that. We'll just say it's so inhumane for those Palestinians. They need to go somewhere. We'll build in the desert, in the Sinai, we'll build some beautiful cities. They can go to some other country. And then we'll let the beautiful people of Israel come in there, and then we'll own some real estate. And then we'll bring in some of the Muslims and Arabs that we feel are worthy, that we can control, they can come, but we're going to own it and it'll be ours. And me and my family can make a lot of money and your family can make some money and you'll have that greater Israel that you always wanted. That's the plan. And so Trump's going to get up there and basically say that. And he said it, he said it. And yeah, it's crazy. So basically, that's just so insane. Like, he's just going to, like, if anyone other president had ever said anything like that in history or recently, we would just be like, what on earth? But he just gets up there and says the most audacious things and nobody, it's like, okay, it's like, so he's saying basically we're going to ethnically cleanse the Gaza Strip, kick out 1.6 million Palestinians, then he's going to own it and they're going to make it the Riviera of the Middle East. And if you haven't seen it, here's a video that someone made, an AI video of him and Netanyahu, sitting like fat cats in Gaza.
Donald is coming to set you free, bringing the light for all to see. No more tunnels, no more fear. Trump Gaza is finally here. Trump Gaza shining bright, golden future, a brand new light. Feast and dance, the deal is done. Trump Gaza, number one. Trump Gaza shining bright, golden future, a brand new light. Feast and dance, the deal is done. Trump Gaza, number one.
It's just insane. And I'm like, this will be really interesting. So the reason I'm bringing this all up is because they need an excuse to do this. So the idea is that he's his plan with Netanyahu is like, how am I going to do this? I need more weapons. Trump's like, oh, don't worry, I'll send you all the weapons you need. And then, but wait, we can't just go in there. We'll look bad with the ceasefire. It's like, no. We're gonna make it look like Hamas didn't do the ceasefire. Well, how are we gonna do that? Well, I don't know. I'll just get on TV and yell at them. And when they don't do what I say, people will be so busy with work and cooking dinner that they won't put two and two together. And then we'll just make it look like they didn't do their end of the ceasefire. Brilliant idea, So then Israel is going to turn around and say, when Hamas said, you're violating the ceasefire, so we're not going to release the next group of hostages, Israel is going to turn around and be like, look, they're not keeping their end of the bargain. They're holding the hostages, when it was Israel that wasn't doing the ceasefire. Now, these subtle points, your average person, if you're just watching the news real fast, doesn't pick up on. You have to pay attention, and then you see what's really going on. And that's what was going on. So then Trump, this is all part of their little game plan, comes up and says, Hamas, if you don't release all those hostages, there's going to be hell to pay. And so I was like, man, Hamas needs to release those hostages to call their bluff. And they did. And they called their bluff. And then Netanyahu was like, God dang it. They did release the hostages, Mr. Trump. Now I can't have I need an excuse to invade. I need it to look like they're not doing the ceasefire instead of us. And Trump's like, oh, crap, they did, huh? Well, what can we do? So the next trick was, oh, I know. I'll just ask them to extend part 2, because the ceasefire is 2 parts. And so this next scheme from Israel and Trump was like, let's ask them to extend part 1. Hamas wants to release the hostages and go into phase 2, where they're going to negotiate a permanent peace plan. Netanyahu doesn't want a permanent peace plan. He wants all of Gaza, but he got to make it seem like it's Hamas's fault. So what they did is Israel said, hey, I know we're supposed to release all the hostages and then go to phase 2, but do you mind just extending phase 1? Can we extend that out? And then Hamas said, no, we don't want to extend it. We want to go to phase 2. And then Israel was like, well, you're not doing what we want. And then Trump gets up there again and says, Hamas, if you don't release all those hostages, I saw the hostages and they're so bad. And yes, it is bad. I just want to make this clear. What Hamas is doing with the hostages is bad. I'm not saying that that's a good thing. But at the same time, I'm just showing you how this is all being manipulated so that they can kick out 1.6 Palestinians, women, families, children, in addition to the soldiers who were going to fight to the end. But the point is that, so this new thing is like, if you don't extend the ceasefire phase 1, then we're going to cut off humanitarian aid. So they did. They stopped humanitarian aid, and then they did something else. And we're going to come back in there. So basically, Israel's threatening to resume the war if Hamas doesn't extend phase 1, which was not the deal. So Israel keeps doing that because they want. So I read an ABC News article on this, and if you just read that real quick, you get the general impression that's not true, is that Hamas has been keeping their end of the ceasefire. Israel keeps trying to sabotage it so they can have an excuse to attack again with the support of Trump and wipe them all out and boot them out of there. That's the plan. So if you didn't know, I just wanted to clarify that's what's happening, because most of my American friends are too busy to pay attention. So a lot of them didn't even know what was happening over there, why or whatever, what the protests were about. You have to stop and really pay attention. And then you realize and wake up like I did, that this is like really what Israel is doing. Like what Hamas did was bad on October 7th, but what Israel is doing in response is like 10 times, 100 times worse. It does not, like, I'm like, how many Palestinians are worth one Israeli hostage? Okay, I get it, but like what, 10,000? Like, I think like what, 1,000? Like why is Palestinian life just worth nothing? Because it's racism, basically. Only white people are worth something and brown and black people aren't worth anything. Like, I don't care what you say, the actions say it. Like and this is implemented by the people that run our society, and it's just blatant racism. I mean, it's just bad. So I just can't believe, and then Netanyahu is going to go into Syria. So these people in Syria have been fighting for Assad, this ruthlessly evil guy. And then they finally kick him out and get some freedom, and they can build their country up. And they told Israel, we're not interested in all this stuff between you and Iran. We just want to live like normal people and build our country back. Well, what does Israel do? They just destroy their military. They keep attacking them. They took like a huge swath of the country near the Golan Heights. Then they had the nerve to tell them, oh, and you can't go in the south either. Like they're just taking over Syria. Like they're just gonna take as much. I'm talking about Israel. Is gonna just take as much as they can. And this is gonna trigger World War III. Like this is gonna trigger the Arab country and Turkey. I can see the Turkey sitting in their army and there's a clash with Israel. Like this is gonna happen. NATO, especially if Trump pulls out of NATO, which Turkey is a part of, then Turkey's gonna just be like, okay, well, it's a free for all. Because Turkey has Syria's back, so it's just a mess. And so I can totally see, the Arab countries have been tolerating, and at some point they're just gonna like break, because the people can only deal with so much. So I can totally see like a war happening over there. And then Turkey's gonna be fighting America? Like this is so backwards. Thanks, Mr. Trump. Thanks, Republicans. Thank MAGA for doing this to us. Thank you. You guys are really awesome. Thanks for ruining the world for us. All of this because you couldn't have a black woman who wasn't even fully black. Like she's half Indian, but that's brown too. So you can't have a black-brown mix person. Like you'd rather have the whole world be destroyed in World War III nuclear holocaust than have a black woman as the president. This is how wicked evil you are. Hey, like, subscribe, tell your friends, save the world, and let me know what you think in the comments.